Hello everyone, Coming Clean here. Starting a YouTube gaming channel is a dream for many gamers, both young and old. There are however some misconceptions about the amount of stuff you need to do so. In fact, you probably already own everything you need to start your YouTube gaming channel. In this video, I'll talk about what they are. I hope you enjoy it. Just a quick disclaimer. I do not claim to be a YouTube guru of any sort. I just want to give some tips that have helped me and clear out misconceptions to encourage more younger players to get into YouTubing. I will also mention right away that I'll be focusing mainly on console gaming. Let's get started. When you search for things you need to start a channel, you are likely to find that you need a green screen, expensive microphone, an even more expensive camera, a capture card, and a $20 per month subscription to Adobe Premiere Pro. And while all those things might be necessary eventually if your goal is to reach 500,000 subscribers, you certainly don't need that level of commitment in your first month or even years as a content creator. We'll first take a look at the minimum amount of gear you need to start your channel, and then I'll suggest some things you may want to get after a few months, if you found that content creating was your thing. Let's start right away with the things you actually do need. To start a YouTube gaming channel, you need three things: a way to record your gameplay, a way to record your voice, and a way to edit your videos. Like I mentioned in the intro, chances are you already own everything you need. Let's go through the points one by one. So how can you record your gameplay? A capture card obviously, but that's actually not the only way. Current and last-gen PlayStations and Xboxes, meaning PS4, Xbox One and later consoles, have built-in functions to capture gameplay. Both manufacturers provided us with the option to with the press of a button save the last gameplay session and also at any moment manually start and end the recording. This function is universal, meaning it works on all games, with the only exception being part of some cutscenes in a few games where recording is blocked for whatever reason. I won't go over all the differences now, but please be aware that depending on which version of console, the quality and length of what you can record will vary. For example, a base PS4 records at 720p resolution and 30 frames per second, while the PS4 Pro can record at 1080p and 60 frames per second. A base Xbox One, on the other hand, can record in 1080p, but you are limited to just a couple of minutes compared to the up to 1 hour you get on the PS4 or PS5. The built-in functions work great, at least in my experience. It's sometimes actually preferable to use this function over a capture card, as it's a convenient way to spontaneously save things that happen in games without you planning it. As long as you're happy with the quality your console records at, the purchase of a capture card can wait. You can also use your Xbox to stream directly to Twitch and your PlayStation to stream directly to Twitch or YouTube. You are however limited to recording gameplay from games on either disc or on your hard drive. What else would I want to record, you may ask? Well, for example, you can't record anything outside of the game, like browsing in menus for example. 98% of your content will probably not be from the various console interfaces, but it's worth mentioning regardless. Also, you can't record content from games that you stream from xCloud or PlayStation Plus. For that, you need a capture card. The Nintendo Switch is another story when it comes to built-in recording functions. You can, with the use of the share button, save screenshots and save the last gameplay session, but you are limited to 30-second clips. This is most likely not going to be enough for most types of gaming channels. Some games have recording functions, like Smash Ultimate, that lets you save replays and convert them to video files. All in all, if you want to feature Switch content on your channel, a third-party capture card is a must. And finally, if you want to record content on an older console, like a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 or Wii U, you also need a capture card. So to sum everything up, if you own any current or last-gen version of either PlayStation or Xbox, you are all set to start recording and make your first YouTube gaming video. If you have an older version of either console, just double-check that the recording specs meet the quality you had in mind. For older consoles or any Nintendo console, you will however need a capture card. Moving on to the next point on the list, recording your voice. Granted, there are several successful channels without any recorded voice whatsoever, but I think that voiceovers are so common among gaming content that I wanted to cover it. To record your voice, you also probably already own what you need. Chances are you're holding it in your hand right now. Your cell phone is actually all you need to record your voice for your videos if you want to do voiceovers that you add to your videos while editing. The microphone on the phone itself works just fine as long as you're in a room with no background sounds. Just use a blanket or lock yourself in the closet to get a clean sound with no echoes in the background. If you get a better sound with a pair of earphones or a gaming headset, just plug that in. If you edit your videos on your computer, you can easily send the sound files via AirDrop, Google Drive or email. Will you get a crisper sound with an expensive mic? Probably, but you definitely don't need one to get your channel started. If you live stream, you probably want to add your voice, and all you need for that is any type of microphone with a 3.5mm plug. If you own an official camera, you can of course include footage of yourself while streaming. If you don't want to make a live stream, but still want to record a video with a facecam, there is another simple solution. When I'm not streaming, this is my usual setup. I record the gameplay from any of my consoles or from my capture card, and at the same time I record my face and my voice from my cell phone, with this microphone plugged into the cell phone. That way I get the video game file and the facecam and audio file separately, and I can edit out any unwanted sound, for example, and just gives you a bit more flexibility while editing. Speaking about editing, we now get to the last point on the list about things you need to start your YouTube gaming channel. A way to edit your videos. The market-leading editing softwares like Adobe Premiere Pro usually requires you to commit to a subscription fee. I'm happy to tell you that while this might give you a competitive edge, it is certainly not something you need to do right away. Let's talk about what you can do directly on your console at first. As it would seem, Microsoft only offers a way to trim your clips if you record gameplay on an Xbox. Better than nothing, but certainly not enough, unfortunately. On both PS4 and PS5, however, you have the rather powerful Share Factory Studio app. It offers voice recordings, text overlays, overlapping PlayStation camera footage, and more. However, the most convenient way to edit your videos is probably to transfer your recorded clips to your computer. If you have a Mac of any kind, you can use iMovie that works perfectly fine. Granted, there are some limitations when compared to the more expensive softwares out there. On the PC, you can use the photo app for video editing, and if you look hard enough, you'll probably also find other either free or cheap options. If all else fails, you always have your cell phone or tablet that has video editing software pre-installed, with some limitations to their computer counterparts, of course. As you can see, and like I mentioned in the beginning, you probably already own everything you need to start your YouTube gaming channel. Expensive gear might be necessary in the future if your goal is hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but don't think too hard about that right now. Just use what you have and get your channel started. I do, however, want to mention a few things that might be worth investing in after a couple of months, once you know if you want to pursue your YouTubing dream. To record yourself, the camera on your cell phone will work fine. Things will, however, get much easier if you invest in a tripod. They usually come relatively cheap, are very handy, and you might find uses for it outside of content creation. I also recommend buying some sort of microphone, a clip-on variant like this one, for example. Recording your voice while filming yourself is not recommended to do without one. The audio is noticeably poorer. Lastly, even though they are usually quite pricey, a capture card might be something you need eventually. It lets you record on older consoles, stream games, menus, and are just generally overall quite convenient. If you get one that records at 1080p and 60 FPS, you are probably future-proof for several years. On my own channel, I make various videos about family-friendly games, and if that is something you think you like, then feel free to check out my content and maybe even subscribe for weekly gaming content. That is, however, it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Coming Clean, and I will see you next time. Take care!